Streamlabs. Okay.
Yeah, you can still use it. Okay, I should be here.
And there you are. And you're moving. Okay, let me get you
I'm
back.
moving. That's awesome. Wow, I'm moving.
Yeah, you're moving.
What wizardry is this?
Yay!
Hi.
Hey!
Hey.
Oh God, is that super loud for you?
No, that's fine. It's fine.
It's okay.
Am I super loud for you?
No, you're great. You're great.
Oh.
You're wonderful.
Okay, good.
So, Sarah, thank you so much for coming on the show, and thank you so much for.
Thank you for inviting me.
Well, I mean, this is a great get for me. I mean, like, I love what you do. I respect the hell out of your hustle. I like Music Exposed. I like that. I love that you and the silence noise are a thing. Like, it's very. I like it. I like it a lot. It's a fun thing. See, I'm gonna get into this, Sarah. I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna be present. I'm just still. Really.
Are you still sleeping?
I think so. It's these fucking pills, man. They're so weird. I don't know. I've never
claps for that, by the way. That's awesome.
I don't know if that's claps for that.
I also take there's like that's awesome. That's a big step to take. Like for me, I also take antidepressants, and it took me a really long time to get there, even to have the courage to be like, I'm gonna take pills every day because I hate pills.
Yeah, I hate pills too. Yeah. No, for me it was just I can't keep having these like emotional roller coaster things. It's just not good for me or for my family or anything. So it's like I just need something to silence the noise a little. It's just, hey. But it was God damn it. Yeah, I know. But it's true. But it's true, and I do refer to it actually as noise. Like when things start getting loud in my head, that's when things start getting loud out in the outside world too. So it's like I do actually refer to it as the noise in my head that just starts getting louder and louder and louder. So I do actually use that phrase, silence. But hey, anyways, it's
maybe he's the cure for your depression.
Maybe I need to date silence noise. Maybe
you do. Maybe. I actually was thinking about Saturday doing a little dating show for him. Do you want to come on and date him?
Yeah, of course.
It's called Date My Boyfriend.
I'm down. I would love to date the silence noise. And
okay.
Well, cool. I just like his take. I like his approach to production and like that goth synth symphony metal stuff. I dig that. I really dig it. So yeah, I mean, I'll cup his balls. Whatever, it's cool. Nice, cool. Yeah. Anyways, enough about me and my silly little brain here. Like just talking to you before we even got started, and I told you, I was like, oh, by the way, my morning poo was great, and you're like, oh, thanks for that information. And no, but something occurred to me at that moment. It's like you must get that a lot, where people like just start talking to you as if you are still like Sara on stream. And because you were just sort of like, I didn't, in that moment, you didn't really know. But when you're Sara on stream the other day, you're like, how was your morning poo? And it's just...
I know. But sometimes I do that on purpose. So it's like, it's difficult to, sometimes that's my type of humor. It's like, I make you feel uncomfortable. I like doing that, I do that in real life too. So I was just, I don't want to know that and make you, and you were feeling uncomfortable that you just said that. So
I was enough to voice it later on. But I mean, it kind of leads to a bigger thing. I mean, you do have this character that you play, and I'm just wondering, do you have people like approaching you like, because you're inappropriate, you're shaking your booty, like you're doing all that. And so I'm just wondering, do you have people who approach you like, I mean, I don't know how many people approach you IRL, but I'm sure you have plenty of people approaching you in the digital space. Do you have a lot? Oh, thank you so much for that host, Third Code Warrior. That is so wonderful of you. Thank you. But do you have that issue where you'll have people sort of coming at you in like a very inappropriate way where you're just like, ugh.
Oh, I have that all the time. And I actually had that conversation with a few girls. I made a girls' night stream, and I was complaining about getting unsolicited dick pics all the time on Instagram. And they are all the girls that I had on that podcast or night or whatever I don't know, it was more of a podcast, but that night I was talking about that, and they're all beautiful women. And they said they don't get that a lot. Like, some of them haven't even gotten it ever. And I'm like, well, what the hell? Why do I get that? Is it because of the way I act? Maybe it's because of the way I act. I don't know.
Yeah. So it's a common thing for you. I mean, is it something that you sort of get, I don't know, do you get tired of it? Is it something that bothers you, or do you just sort of accept it as part of sort of you do?
Yeah, I kind of accept. I mean, it never really bothered me because if it's kind of sad, but I mean, I don't have any feelings towards it, but I think some people might think it's sad because I'm used to be catcalled all the time. Especially coming from Portugal in Lisbon, that's a thing. If you are a woman who is even mildly attractive, you get catcalled all the time, and that's just a thing. You get approached all the time inappropriately, you get groped inappropriately and all those things.
Wow.
And yeah, so having people send me dick pics and stuff, I just laugh it off and make fun of it on stream, and it doesn't really bother me because I'm just used to it. Yeah. So like I said, that might be sad for some people, but I don't have any, like, I don't get mad or anything. I'm like, oh, okay, well, great for you, good for you.
There's another dick.
The worst.
Sweet.
Here's another day of people just DMing me weird shit. Yeah. But sometimes, most of the time, I will actually look at their profile to try to understand what type of people do this. Like, legit, I have never talked to this person. They haven't even said hi. They legit, the first thing they send is a dick pic or a tribute, which is a video. Which I never watched it. I always only like clicked on it and then realized while it was going, oh, this is a tribute. But I've never watched it until the end, obviously. So I don't know what happens. Like, I never know what happens. And I always feel weird. Once I joked with my boyfriend with silence. I was like, I should watch one of these until the end so I finally understand what it is about. Like, do they say my name? Do they have a picture printed out in front of them? Do they have my picture on their monitor or something? Like, what is happening here, right? But then I click on start and it makes me so uncomfortable. I'm like, nope, I can't watch. I cannot watch. I don't want to know.
Wow.
But yeah, that happens a lot actually, and I don't know why. And I thought every woman has to deal with that on the internet, but turns out that's a thing that just some of us get for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, no, well, my wife Reina, she actually, it's really interesting because she puts up. She has her boobs out all the time on her Instagram. Yeah. Her Instagram, and she never gets any dick pics. It's like no one wants to send her dick pics. It's like what? She don't deserve dick pics, huh?
The other day even. Pics, I think like 2 days or 3 days ago, I even showed this to my boyfriend. I got a nude from a woman. And that's not the first time that I get that. I'm like, I am past the point of dick pics. I'm at a point already where I get either vagina pics or booby titties or just full on women. And it's like just a full body. And I got that on Twitter the other day. A full body nude. I mean, she was pretty and beautiful and stuff. Nice. Don't get me wrong, but it's like, what are you doing? Why? What? I never spoke to this person even. Why am I getting this?
Oh, Adam, thank you so much for the 5 months, buddy. Good to see you, everybody. And everybody give some love to Adam Flair UK. He is a friend of the show, community member, and an amazing. Thank you for that host as well, Adam. You lovely human being, you sexy motherfucker. Hello from Australia. Yeah, Adam Flair UK does like badass production where it's like a throwback 80s, like nice. in the vein of like Chromeo or Zapp and Roger and stuff like that. So it's like 808s and shit. But yeah, and of course, I forgot what we were just talking about. So.
Oh, we were talking about dicks.
Thank you. Oh, yes, of course, dicks.
Of course.
Oh yeah, and everybody who's here, I'm sorry that I'm just so all over the place, but if you do have a if you do have a question for Sara, please do use the fresh bars. That keeps my questions kind of in order here, so I can, please do use the channel points, and we'll get to your questions. And thank you for that. Kendall, I don't know how to say that, but thank you and welcome. But how long have you been playing drums? That's the question. And I know
that's the question.
Well, I know we were just talking about dicks, but like.
Yeah.
How long have you been playing drums? I didn't know you played drums.
I don't play drums.
Good. Wonderful.
But I have actually done backup on drums in high school with a rock band. And that was when I found out that I am horrible at drums.
Hey, at least you know now. At least you know, and
I know
you never have to pursue that again. The silence noise has a question, and I just did you not just complain about dick pics while also soliciting a picture of crow boat's balls in a DM?
That was actually true. I can't believe that he would say that. But
I'm hearing him in the background.
So
cackling.
I need to explain this. So this is a lot to explain. Fuck's sake, how am I gonna get out of this? So so I have a friend who is also a streamer. He is called Crowboat. So go follow him if you like retro games and completely insane people. So Crowboat is somebody who sends me and all of his friends pictures of his testicles. That's what he does. He gets drunk off of whiskey or something, and he will send you a picture of his balls. And he will send you that, and sometimes he will even ask you and be like, hey, do you want to see my balls? And you'll be like, no, but also you won't. And he will be like, I will. You won't. Oh, yes, I will. And then he will send you a picture of his balls. So fast forward, I started a group chat with on Discord yesterday night with all the most offensive people that I know. So we could have Cards Against Humanity nights, gaming nights, and Jackbox nights. And I invited Crow, and I told the group who none of them know each other. So I was like, Crow will show you his balls. So please, Crow, show them your balls. So I know that's yes.
That's well, thank you. I appreciate that. That was good. That was good. I didn't really have nothing to respond to that, so I pushed the button.
I'm sorry. I know.
I like it,
but
though.
No,
But what do you think what do you think compels people? Do you think that when people are trying to send you these pictures of their body, do you think that this is in their head? Do you think they're just like, she's gonna take one look at this pic, and me and her are gonna be together forever? Like, I mean, I don't know. Have you ever even thought about like what compels people to?
That's why I look at their profiles.
Alcohol.
That's like why I look at their profiles. Right. Like every time I get that, I click on their profile to try to understand who is this person, what do they do, and why are they doing this? Like what type of person would do this? I legit never understood it. I think I don't know. Like once actually an underage kid sent me a dick pic. I mean, it blocked him. I was like, this is. I'm not going to jail.
Allegedly, an underage kid.
Like, help me. Like, I don't know. I don't understand the whole thing, but I don't know. In their heads, probably it's what you said. They send you a dick pic and you're like, wow, and then send a dick pic back or something. I should do that at some point. But I just don't react to it at all. I ignore it because on Instagram, from people that you don't know, you have to accept the request.
Right.
So I don't even accept it because that will just start a conversation and I don't want that. So I just ignore it. But at some point I should send a dick pic back.
Thank you for that follow, Tam1 Wolf. I appreciate that. Welcome. And thank you for that host as well. That host. I appreciate that. It's so weird that it's like for me, I get like people mad at me for having guests on or something. So like for me, it's like it's not dick pics, but it's like visceral hatred written in text. So it's just like I can't believe you did that. So
Really?
well, sometimes
That's interesting.
Man,
do you have like controversial people on sometimes?
My friend who voted for Trump.
Ah.
My friend who voted for Trump and is a Trump supporter, and I give him a platform for him to run his Trump, his Trump, what do you hell propaganda, and everybody gets mad, and then now I'm a white supremacist.
Well, of course. I mean,
Yeah. Well, duh. I'm a Latino man, so of course I'm a white supremacist.
Of course. Actually, I have this question.
Sure.
So I have this question because
Please.
I always have this question.
Oh, no.
I am so confused about this. I'm so confused about this. This now goes into political stuff too.
Yeah, Wazzy.
Kind of.
Sorry, Wazzy. If you're not comfortable, you can come back later.
No, it's all good. It's just a question. I have a question about this. So in America, this is in America.
Mm.
Latinos are not considered white. They're considered people of color. And that implies Mexicans, just everybody who is from South America.
Right.
But then on Twitter, they do not consider Portuguese, Spanish, and Italians. They don't consider them Latinos. They consider them white. That makes no sense to me.
Right.
As a European, that makes zero sense to me.
I could see it. Because the languages that you're talking about, those countries all come from Latin, right? So why
that's their roots,
right?
Yeah.
So and those languages made their way over to South America and Mexico, and as the conquerors came over and laid their seeds.
And they have the same. They talk the same languages and stuff. They look the same. Like Mexicans and Spanish people are very similar. Obviously, because it's a heritage. Just like Brazilian people look very similar to Portuguese people. And I am Portuguese, so I know that. So it's like, why is a Brazilian person considered a person of color, but a Portuguese person isn't? But then a Mexican is considered a person of color, but a Spanish person isn't. And it's like, I don't understand the whole. But that's only in America. Like that's a weird thing in America where it's like, I don't understand this whole the whole race thing in regards to that actually. So I don't know.
Well, it's just one of those things that it's just one of those things that just happened, I guess. I don't know. I really don't know what the answer to that is. I guess you would have to really dig into that. But all I know is that Latino is now not even good enough for the general population of people, let's just say, that are descendant from the South America, from Mexico to South America. That's what's considered. Even Cubans and Puerto Ricans get lumped into it. So it's a lot of different people and groups and ethnicities get lumped into it. All I know is that they're changing it into Latinx because of the way that Latino it pushes the male, because you know how they're at the end of the word o or indicates gender, right? So mijo or mija is like my son, my daughter.
O niño, niña.
Yeah, exactly.
Same in Portuguese, nina, menino. Yeah.
Why are crazy American people on Twitter like this? Yeah, well, that's exactly what's happening. So a small group of people here who are sick of the patriarchy of the Latin culture, which again we're talking about just the South American, Mexico down to South America. Screw you, Spain and Portugal. Sorry, you're out. So I don't know, but here in America, we like to make little fun traps for ourselves, like the foot versus meter thing. Why are we still doing it? Why can't we just get on board with the rest of the world and just go to meters?
Yeah.
It just, we like to do that. We like to do these little mind fuck things where we just enforce these weird rules.
It's really confusing to me. Sometimes it's confusing, but that's a side thing that I was thinking about just now. Just whatever.
That is weird though. I've never thought about it in that respect. And in the respect that I think that if you did try lumping Latinos like Spaniards and Portuguese, I think if you did try to do that, they'll try to say that's like a European. That's just more of that European what conqueror type thing, you know, like it would almost be an insult to Latinos here in America, or you know, over on this side of the pond, because you're referring to you would try to lump in these white European conquerors who came over and ruined their beautiful life as natives.
I mean, of course, and it's the thing is like in Europe, everybody is of course the same shade too, and you know the culture is all the same too.
Right, exactly.
Never mind that there's like different cultures. But yeah, in Europe, actually, that's the thing. Like Portuguese, Spanish people, and Italians, they're all considered the Latin people of Europe, you know, and people like Germans and Swedish people and stuff like that are considered the white, like because they're in the north and the skin color is different, obviously. Yeah, but whatever. I just thought about that. Anyways, hi.
Hello. So tell me about your music career. I mean, like you've had this insanely illustrious career, and now you're on Twitch. But tell me when did you start getting into music? When did you start playing? Do you come from a musical family?
Not really. Although my mom used to pretend to get piano lessons from my dad to sneak into his place, but they did not play piano. So but other than that, I started playing keyboard when I was around 5 years old, but I come from a poor family, and I never had money for things like, you know, music teachers or something. That's a freaking luxury, you know? So I never had really teachers or anything like that for music. And so I didn't really learn it properly. And then in Portuguese school, you do have to have music as a subject in school for like, I think 3 years or something. So there I learned like the very basics of note reading and all those things. And I think very late, I started with the saxophone. I was already in college when I started. And I wanted to buy the saxophone from a professional. And he came and wanted to sell me that saxophone. And he heard me play and he was like, "Why the fuck are you not a musician?" And he just basically hired me and we started touring together. And I was very fortunate in that regard because I didn't have to go do the whole busking and mediocre gigs and deal with all of that, because I was with an implemented band and with professionals that already had a name for themselves.
Right.
So I was very, very lucky in that regard. So that's how I started doing music full time, basically. And then I was studying art history and philosophy, but I ditched that because I was like, I'm going to start a music career.
Yo, that's awesome though, that you were able to sort of forego that whole like the process, because I mean, me as a musician, it was just this long, just arduous upward climb up this mountain with boulders and shit flying down at me, mostly boulders there that I set myself, but it's like it was a long road for me, and I think it's awesome when people get to forgo like that. So then, did you just pick up quickly? Does it just come pretty naturally to you?
I did.
You're natural.
The saxophone for me is like, I always say this to people who also, every instrumentalist, I guess, has that feeling. There's this one instrument that is kind of like part of you. Like it's that it kind of clicks, and the saxophone was like that with me. It just clicked. Like I started playing it and I was like, holy shit, I have been waiting for this my whole life. And I was crazy though. Like nothing obviously got handed to me, but I am a very quick learner, but also I am an extreme perfectionist and I am a workaholic. So I would practice 8+ hours every single day until like, did you watch Whiplash?
No.
Okay, well, so there's a moment where the drummer practices so much he starts bleeding from his hands and stuff. Like that was me. I started bleeding from my hands and stuff from pressing too much and stuff like that. But I would just go. I would continue going. I would practice like a maniac and be super technical at some point. At some point actually there was audience that came to me and said, "Sara, you are playing too technical and too like fast and stuff, like too jazzy."
Yeah.
It's not really emotional anymore. It's just really technical. And
notes.
So I had to, yeah. So that's when I started not practicing as much. And now I don't practice at all anymore.
Well, no.
Like Twitch is my practice, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. Well, there just becomes this point when you're practicing so much that you can like lose touch with the feel of it. And it just becomes notes, and it's like, oh, I know all these different avenues that I could take. Like I can play, you know, this scale over this, you know, E flat 7 sharp 8, you know, or sharp 11, whatever it is. I can play this scale over it, and you're technically, and your mind's moving so quickly that sometimes you just lose the feel of it. And that's what I loved about Miles Davis as a trumpeter, but that's what I loved about Miles Davis is that his notes were always so choice and they were just always so well placed, you know. And he could rip and he could shred and he could do the all that stuff. Yeah, exactly. Do all of that, but he would always be able to do it in a way that was telling a story or singing a song in a sense, you know.
That's what I learned too, and after a while, I actually started believing that and actually believing that myself, which I kind of learned from the old Coltrane. Not the new, the young Coltrane was very technical and I did not like him very much. I never really liked him, the young Coltrane, but the old Coltrane just does sound. Yeah. Like he legit with his sax, he just does like, just like Miles kind of, you know, Miles in the 80s too. Like he would do kind of sounds and obviously go with the times and stuff. And Coltrane was like that too. He just made sounds and he was not technical at all anymore. And that's when I kind of with all of that process, I understood that what's important in music is sound and is the dynamic of emotions and not the dynamic of how many fucking notes can I play over this fucking chord. Yes. Like nobody cares. But and that's how I play nowadays. I just do a lot of just sounds and effects, and I'm a very effectful player. Like I will sometimes just do effects and technically there's not a lot going on. And I kind of lost the technicality. I can still shred, but obviously when you don't keep up with the, you know, with the crazy stuff, then you kind of lose it. But I don't think I need it, to be honest with you. Yeah, for sure. It's just for flexing, basically. It's like, hi, I can play really fast. Look at my dick. It's really big.
Right. No, for sure. And I can see that point. I wish I could get to that point where I could just whip my dick out, but that's not me. I have like one run on the keys that is my whole career. That's like my whole career is this one run on the keys that people just can't get enough of, and I just stick to the script. That's it. Yep. And then everything else is me trying to like play pretty and and then of course
every musician has like maybe 5 licks they do, but in like even if you are like a crazy jazz musician or something, you have those 5 your 5 licks, but just in all 12 keys. But like it's just those 5. Like let's not kid ourselves.
Just different little ways of presenting them. But like people make whole careers on that, which is really interesting. And
very true.
Not? Why not? Like you got your. Oh, you love talking about Kenny G?
No, I don't. I don't. I'm not a big fan of Kenny G because a lot of jazz musicians aren't fans of Kenny G. Yeah. I am not I don't hate Kenny G because there's a lot of jazz musicians who hate Kenny G just for the fact that he made it. Just because he made it. Like jazz musicians are in general very, very mad at people that make it, especially in the music world, especially when it is with mainstream, because for them it's like a sellout. And Kenny G made it with smooth jazz, which, you know, the real elite jazz doesn't like. But I'm not a fan of his music, but I really respect that an instrumentalist has made it in these years, like in the 90s, 2000s, and still nowadays people talk about him. It's 2021 and people talk about him as an instrumentalist, and I really respect that, and that's a big goal. Like, I don't like his music, but I think that's very awesome, because nowadays you only talk about people like Ariana Grande, like singers, vocalists, superstars, but he's an instrumentalist. Like, not even, I feel like not even a lot of people know about Santana anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
It's just cool that he's that people in the mainstream know of this instrumentalist.
Yeah, no, for sure. And people can hate on Kenny G all they want, but I mean, you can't ignore the fact that what you're saying is that he is legendary. He has a legacy, and he's killing it, and he's still killing it, and he could still sell tickets if we could go to concerts. And
yes,
so that's what. Because I stopped that sellout shit. Because I feel like that's feel like that's a young man's game or a young person's game. You know, just like, oh, you can't sell out. It's like. Now it's like, yo, I would love for some commercial to come buy my music and pay me money to play my music in their commercial. Someone come and sell this bitch out. Come on, I'm here. I'm here. But it's I don't know. But I think that's just something that goes with time. And plus the industry is sort of changed now, because there used to be this. It seemed like there was this path to, you know, rock stardom and then riches and fame. And now it's none of that, really. You know, like there's just, you can be like a rapper or Ariana Grande or Justin Bieber, and there's only so many slots that could be filled with those, you know. So
it's a cutthroat industry.
Yeah, it's only gotten more cutthroat with just how we're able to distribute music, you know.
Of course, because we're so many.
Exactly. So I don't know, like, how are you seeing how this whole music industry is going? Like, where do you see it going with like streaming and stuff? Do you see it getting better? Do you see musicians getting paid more, or how do you see it going forward?
Oh, I don't know, to be honest with you, because things are up in the air. I do believe that things like DMCA and copyright will get sorted out at some point, and at some point it has to be sorted out, because the world is only getting more digital and more, you know, more online. So that will be a thing at some point for sure. How long it's going to take, I obviously don't know, but DMCA and copyright won't be as big of an issue. Now the question is, will it be in favor for the artists or in favor for the mainstream, you know, or the listeners? And I pretty much believe that it will be in favor for the listeners more than anything, because you have things like platforms like Spotify, which don't pay anything to the artist. I mean, how are you even expecting Spotify to be able to pay anything if you pay like $10 a month and you can listen to pretty much every single fucking album that there is, you know?
Right.
In a month, you can listen to so many albums where you would pay if you would buy the CD. Actually, the CD alone, just from one artist, would already cost $15.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So how are you going to pay all those artists? And Spotify is a joke in terms of how they pay the artists that are on it. And that's not only Spotify. That's, you know, iTunes. iTunes is a little better though. But yeah, I think it will go more into the road of how Spotify is managing it. Basically, yes, artists are probably going to get paid, but just less than they should, if that makes sense. So basically the Spotify instead of the iTunes, you know, does that make sense? I don't know if I'm explaining it right.
It just sounds like from what I gather, it just sounds like artists are going to get paid less and less as things get more sorted out.
Yeah, but they are probably going to get paid at least, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
But still, that's not the ideal, obviously.
Right.
Especially because art in general, any artist in general, is just considered not really, you know, the whole thing, the whole like phrase "get a real job" is still a thing, you know.
For sure.
so unless that mentality ever changes, which I don't think will change in the next probably, let's say, 200 years,
Yeah,
then until then, art is not, because art kind of, people kind of lost respect for art, you know?
absolutely.
Like I've in antique Greek or Roman time, like an artist was a highly respected person, and an artist was somebody um who had a lot of knowledge too. They were also mathematicians or physicists or whatever. You know, there were intelligent people
Right.
and intellectual people, and they were, seen as these highly praised people. And there's actually, I learned this. There's actually some countries that still practice this. I met Pakistani musicians that I played with,
Mhm.
and back where they came from, they were considered really high, highly intellectual, awesome people. They were paid a lot, but obviously by rich people,
Mhm.
and that type of mentality doesn't exist. Like a musician is like you, or a painter or anything. All of those people, all artists are kind of nowadays a connotation to being poor. It's like, oh, and there's a million jokes about that too. And
Mhm.
it's just a mentality thing. The mentality switched so much on on art, I guess. Maybe also because more people are artists now, and maybe, I don't know. I have no idea. But yeah, unless that mentality changes, I don't think that being an artist is ever going to be um, lucrative.
All
Yeah.
respect is lost. We can't play live shows, but 25,000 could go to the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Yay.
I agree with you so much, and I actually talk about that a lot on the show, especially here in America, where it's when you look at the things that get cut from schools, like art is so low on the totem that art is the first things that they take out of our education system here.
Yeah.
It's the first thing to go. It's not
That's
profitable.
horrible.
It
That's
is, and
horrible.
when you're talking about an entire nation that just got out of this, I think the whole world suffered from that 2009 financial crisis. But like when
Yeah.
you look at like how far we kind of came, and now it's kind of all getting shut down. Uh, it, I don't know, man. It's really weird when you look at it with an entire nation, when you're like cutting out an entire subject of art, what that does
Yeah.
to an entire society. I mean, the Silence Noise knows about this. When you look at like the stuff that happened in Detroit, and how all these schools were closing and stuff, like it's same thing that happened in Toledo. The Midwest in America was hit really hard, but there is this mentality is like, get rid of art. Your parents are always telling you like, make sure you go to college so you can get a real job, and
Yeah.
because when you're
Be a doctor or
right,
whatever.
right. Because when you inevitably fail as an artist, you'll have something to fall back on and be miserable like me. So go
Yeah.
ahead and go to college and learn that degree thing that has nothing to do with
Yeah.
what you're interested in. And it's like just there's so many things that are sort of up against up and coming artists, especially in America, that I'm surprised anybody gets through. I mean, when you people's idea of success as an artist is like you're on the cover of Rolling Stone magazine, or you're I don't know what success is, or
Yeah.
I would say a marker used to be MTV and Rolling Stone magazine, but I don't even know what the
Yeah.
marker is anymore. I'm fucking old.
Yeah, and MTV is not really a thing anymore
Nobody
either. They
gives
do shows now.
Yeah,
Like,
no one cares about MTV as a music outlet.
yeah.
I don't know, man. It's a very confusing thing. It's like we revere artists when they do find success,
Yeah.
but then we push everybody down who's trying to come up. It's like the only way that you can be a successful artist is if you're well known and rich. It's the thing is
Yeah.
that I think we just need to shift the focus and be like, hey, this is a very possible career path. Here are some options. It's like if you want to be a singer, there's like a lot of things you can do with that, and maybe change the idea of like we're not trying. I mean, maybe fame is ultimately what you want, but you have to support yourself to get there. And like we should be
Yeah.
teaching our youth, like, hey, here is the path forward. The things that we had to learn the hard way should be something that is offered. I feel like, you know what I mean? Like, you
I
should know
agree.
how to
I
do it.
agree.
You should know how to file your taxes too when you leave high school, by the
Yeah.
way. I feel like that's a nice
And that's
prerequisite.
that's the thing that I talk about this a lot, actually. It's the problem is that everybody is a rock star nowadays.
Right.
Like, we are in this individualist, which is good. On one hand, you know, everybody is their own person and everybody's an individual and all those things, and everybody's unique. But on the other hand, that also brings things like everybody's a rock star and everybody is unique and everybody is special and everybody, you know, you see that in very mundane things like Fortnite, for example. When you play Fortnite, if you survived for 60 seconds, you get a medal and stuff like that. Like, you get things are popping up and you get like prizes and stuff. Like, you will get rewarded constantly for stupid shit.
Right.
Like, wow, you survived for 60 seconds. Here's a fucking medal. And you're like, wow, what the fuck? Like, what is happening? You know what I mean? And that's not only, that's in school systems, that's also like that now. It's like, oh, you're not third, you're just, you know, or you're not fourth, you're or last. No, you're fourth or something. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's fourth, nobody's last. Like, it's things like that. And that's good because it tries to you know, work on self-esteem of kids and generations. But on the other hand, everybody believes they can be a rock star. They are a rock star, but nobody really teaches about how difficult it is to even get there. Because if you want to be a legit rock star, you have to sell your soul. Like, you do have to sell your creativity, and that's okay. Like, it doesn't mean that selling your soul is a bad thing. I mean, you know, it's you know, people think it's a bad thing, but selling out is not like you said, is not a bad thing, but you do have to sell out. You sometimes have to give up certain things that you like, or you have to, like, people who are legit rock stars, they have to eat right, you know, they have to look right, they have to always have the same look. They have to sing right, they have to do tours, even they have to work constantly, they have to be coached, and you can't really, most of them can't even really write their own songs, or if they want to experience, which I believe a lot of those musicians want to experience something different. And I know of a lot of musicians who do one genre, but they don't really like that genre. They're actually something else. Like, how many people are actually country singers? Like, for example, Miley Cyrus is actually a country musician. Taylor Swift is a country musician. They do pop though. And there's so many people where, you know, oh, they're actually a jazz musician, or they're actually this or that, but they do pop, or they do folk, or they do whatever they were put into this box from their managers. And I actually, right before I started Twitch, I was going to sell out myself, and I was going to sign a contract with a producer slash manager. And he said, one of the first things we gotta agree on is what hair color you're gonna have for the next 5 to 10 years, because I like to change my hair color all the time. You know, I like to have blue and red and blonde and then black and then brown and then whatever, right? Yeah. Purple, it doesn't matter. But he said, one of the first things we got to settle is, what is your hair color for the next 5 to 10 years, you know, and things like that. And then obviously, you know, other people write the songs for me, although I'm very capable of writing my own songs. But other people do it, and you're going to do a genre that I didn't really like. But this is the genre that is, you know, accredited to me, and the genre that should be that a thing for me, because that's what makes the money. Mm-hmm. And that's, you know, so also even getting there, that is like, and even only having that opportunity, I'm talking about things that you have to give up, but even to get to be offered that opportunity, you have to work so much. You have to have had so many years of busking, of playing shitty gigs, or being on the internet, I don't know, recording YouTube videos with 3 views or something, you know what I mean? Or being now on Twitch is also a great platform for musicians and artists. And it's just a lot. You have to give a lot, and a lot of mental health, a lot of time, a lot of unpaid time. Um, and you don't even get good money for it. So it's like, is it really worth it?
Yeah.
And most people don't even get the opportunity offered of um, even selling your soul.
Right.
Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah, it does.
and it's just so much work, and is it even worth it? That's why everybody thinks being a rock star or like becoming a rock star is so easy, and everybody wants it, because nobody talks about how fucking hard it is, you know?
Yeah. Super taxing. I mean, just going on a regular tour is so taxing.
Yeah.
Just riding in a van for 8 hours, you know, stopping every couple hours or whatever, to stretch your legs, and then you get to some venue. Oh, Mum Jazz, thank you so much for that subscription. I appreciate that. That is so kind of you. Here, let me give you some of this. There you go. Get some air horn for that. The idea of just like riding in a van all day, and I see Reina Mystique. Thank you for gift subbing that to Mum Jazz. I gotta get better at this. Man, she's spitting straight facts. I agree. Scribloid, welcome. Thank you for being here. Yeah, you're in a van all day, and you get to a venue, and then you got a sound check, and then you're just standing around until you got to play, and
you have 10 minutes to eat your dinner.
Yeah. Here's your food. Hurry up! And then you
hurry up, and then you play, and then obviously people want to talk to you, and then you get to your hotel room at 3 a.m. in the morning, 4 a.m., but you have to get up at 8 a.m. because
and
your next gig is 5 hours drive away again, and.
Yeah,
you know, tours are fun.
Yay, love tours. Let me see if this works.
No, tours they can be fun.
No, I love tours.
Tours can be fun.
They can be fun,
but they're very exhausting.
Yes, it's a taxing thing, and I think you're the way that you sort of laid it out is how people should be told when they're coming to somebody like, hey, mom and dad, I want to be an actress. It's like, okay, well, let's figure this out. You know, like we should be able to explain to them, and like, this is not just you go to Hollywood, you show up and, hey, I'm here, now make me famous. It's like there's a process to it, and it's hard. And I do understand why people get all, you know, weird about their parents, especially when parents are like, you know, maybe you should figure something out that's a little bit more, you know, accommodating to life. But if we sort of were able to, I don't know how you would even teach this, but in a way to be able to explain that it is a very possible thing. And if you want to be,
I think this is.
Go ahead, please.
Sorry.
No,
I think this is on the famous people and celebrities themselves. Because they don't really talk a lot about, or not themselves, maybe the way they are portrayed, maybe the media, I don't know, but the way they are portrayed is like everybody gets famous from day to night. It's like all of a sudden this person is famous. They didn't even do anything for it, you know? Right. And that's obviously not true. Most of these people, most of celebrities have tried for years and years and have been working for years on whatever they do, you know. Some reality stars or something, they're actually musicians or something, you know, and they just are trying, you know. But yeah, I think that's on the celebrities or on the media or on the manager of the celebrity or whoever, to portray and just show, hey, I didn't just get famous. Like, there's a lot of work behind all of this, you know?
Yeah. And there's also this worship of fame, you know, like this whole like, you know, we worship these people, we put them up on this pedestal, and it's like they're just people who was eating old Chinese food that was left over from last week, you know, just 2 years ago. They were eating shit just like you were. But now they got lucky and they had the talent to back it, and now here they're at. You know, they got here. But you're right, they don't show this journey of like what it means to be an actor, to go study acting and to go grind it out and to go to auditions and the rejection that goes involved, and the mental health and the things that you have to give up about yourself to take on a role. It's like these scruples that you have to overlook, your own personal scruples, where it's like, I don't want to get naked on film, but do you want to be famous? It's like, well, yeah, I want to be famous.
Yeah.
Whip them out. It's like there's so much involved in it, and I just think that there has to be a better way to convey that to an upcoming generation, that you can do these things, and please do them. But it's like, hey, it's not easy. It's not.
It comes with a price,
and it comes with a huge price, a hefty price. And I mean, like, touring around, and I have to leave my family. I hate leaving my family. I don't like it. It's like the worst part about it is having to go and fly. And I always have these like horrible visions of me like dying in a plane crash, or my asshole Eddie, the lead singer, driving like a maniac on the 5 in California, like running into people. Like, I just have all these horrible visions of me dying and my son growing up without a father, just because I had to pursue this selfish dream of going and being a rock star, which I don't think I even want to be a rock star. Well, I know I don't want to be a rock star. I think that sounds awful. I wouldn't mind being able to play to a crowd, but that's what's cool about Twitch, like being able to, like, for my dream as a musician coming up was like being able to play in like markets all around the country, and people come to your show and hang out.
Yeah.
And that's what's so interesting about Twitch, is that it is that, but it's not. But without all the traveling and the backaches and the visions of death,
and without the rejection too, or maybe the rejection is different. But I don't think if you grow up as a musician on Twitch, I think you don't have to deal with rejection as much, because as a touring musician or a gigging musician, you have to deal with rejection every single day, and it's like maybe 10% of the 100% you put in, and booking of booking. I hate booking.
Yeah, me too.
But we all hate booking. We all hate booking, because like 90% is legit just no, or just no answer, or your music sucks, or we're not interested, or and I don't think that people who as musicians grow up on Twitch, they don't really experience that, which is good, which is good. But at the same time, I'm a little salty, to be honest. It's like, oh, you don't have to go through all the shit that I had to go through, or like people are like, oh, you suck. You're just a nice person, and you don't have to deal with rejection, and you're not bitter about it. So you're just playing on Twitch in front of hundreds of people. Good for you, dude.
But for real. But I feel like that kids should have to feel some of that bitterness and rejection. I mean, it kind of goes back to this whole like, we gotta make sure no one feels any pain, no one feels bad, everybody gets a trophy.
Everybody's fourth.
Like, I really do think that like that kids do need to see some kind of adversity. Adversity, is that right?
Yeah.
Adversity.
No,
I don't. Anniversary.
Obstacles.
Yeah, they should be facing some kind of obstacles in life, because it's not, because the reality of the world is not safe places, and it is starting to become like that. And it's not that I'm against people not getting their feelings hurt, but I do feel like that there is this sort of weakness that comes with not having your soul crushed a few times in life, like, and not going over the edge a few times with whatever it is you're doing, whether it's drugs and alcohol or sex or whatever it is like going over the edge, which I'm not saying everybody go out and go over the edge with drugs and alcohol, but I'm just saying that there are some things that come along with that, some life lessons that are so important that come with that, and sort of forgo that, and to like take that out of the equation. I feel like that's why we're having all these issues with people now, like with people not, especially with mental health. And when you see the rise of mental health and how it correlates with social media, and it's oh God, why? Shut up.
Oh, I have that all the time too. What the fuck? It's like fucking computer streaming. Like, what the fuck?
Stop that. I could be wrong, but it seems with COVID and platforms like Twitch has seen a change in how entertainment, etc., is evolving and changing and reaching new audience. Yeah, absolutely. To some extent, but it's just the other way of squeezing artists as well. There is a large opportunity, but it's so much more random. Discoverability is terrible, and you need to invest hundreds, if not thousands of dollars just to begin. Are you talking about Twitch, or are you talking about just real life gigging and playing?
No, I'm pretty sure he's talking about Twitch or online,
just
music
streaming in general.
general.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. No. And I get that. I get that too, because right at the beginning of the pandemic, there was so, like, me and my wife got into it, and we saw how expensive it gets to do it nice. And I'm telling all my friends, all my my friends who are unemployed, out in San Diego and Southern California, like, hey, dude, get on Twitch, man. It's cool. Just go do it. And then to the point where I was like, I can't believe they're not on Twitch. Fucking loser. But then when you think about it, it's like, this is not for everybody. This is not the platform. No. Like my buddy who's a bass player is kind of awkward, and that can work, right? But like, he's too awkward to a point where he's not great at talking to people. He's not great at just handling all of that. So I could see how that aspect could be overwhelming. But then on top of that, like Silence Noise was saying, you have to invest thousands of dollars just to get into the game and to do it nice, especially to be competitive. But it's really interesting too. I love that. It was one of the Music Exposed, and you and Silence were having just sort of the intro conversation, and you made a really good point about how there's really amazing musicians on Twitch who are just incredibly talented and came from a gigging IRL life, and brought like that magic and stuff here. And then on the other side of the spectrum, there are people who would not make $1 playing on stage in the real world, but on Twitch they kind of have a home, and they can even build a community depending on their thing, and that really resonated with me, because that's exactly what I thought when I first got on. I was like, how does this person have like 50 people just hanging out with them? Like the stream quality is crappy, like they're not singing in key. And it's just, and then you hear them talk, and then you hear them like hanging out, and then you're like, oh, I see. How do you feel about that? Because I don't really remember what your feelings on that thought of, especially as someone coming from a gigging and professional gigging life. What is your thoughts on people who sort of are finding their way on Twitch, and maybe they just sort of wandered on, they stumbled into it, and they just, they're not that proficient at their instrument or whatever they're doing?
I mean, it's okay. Like, I mean, do what makes you happy, and if you have success with it, just, roll with it. I am just very picky about musicians, I guess.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I am also like with who I work, if that makes sense. Like, if I book gigs, then I want the best people, the best people that I can afford. Let's say, let's put it that way. Like, the best people that I can afford, I want to have the best for that money that I can get. So mediocre musicians, I'm like, oh yeah, good for you. You're doing this and you're still learning, it's cool, but I don't have to watch it. And sometimes, but this is the thing too. And I'm pretty sure you had this experience too. Sometimes you see mediocre bands or on stage, and they're professionals, but they're cover bands or something, or they do originals. But people are like, they don't see the audience doesn't see the difference between a really good band, or sometimes you will see a really good band and you're like, why are the people like they're having the same enthusiasm for this really good band as they are having for the mediocre band? So it's like, I think it's because just the mainstream audience, because they aren't really trained musically, they don't really care. As long as it's live music played, then it's fine. And I feel like on Twitch it's the same thing. It's like, oh, there's somebody playing live and they're doing this on the spot. I'm happy with that. The standards are not very high, and that's okay. That's just, I feel like with time, I learned that, that doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter. And it goes back to what we said in the beginning, where it's like, it doesn't matter if you play a million notes over, that one chord. It matters what emotion people get, or what, and even if the transmission of the emotions is mediocre from the band. It's still like live played, and people are just happy with that. And I think that's a thing on Twitch too, especially if you are somebody who is approachable or seems approachable and people like to hang out with you as a person, then it doesn't really matter. So yeah, it's just that the audience doesn't have high standards, and it's okay. Like, that's fine. You
Right.
just gotta learn from it as a musician, and gotta be like, maybe it's not about being perfect. Maybe it's not about being the best or something. It's about being personable or being reachable, or you know what I mean, or relatable. Or I think those things are more important, especially on Twitch, or like on YouTube or whatever.
Yeah. No, absolutely. So what sort of got you into Twitch? I mean, you were, I mean, as far as I could tell, you were a successful jazz saxophonist, working, touring, doing your thing. What got you sort of out of that realm and into Twitch, or was there a time when you're sort of doing both, juggling both?
I was kind of doing both for 3 months. So I started on Twitch because I had a month where I only had 2 gigs in that month, and it was in the beginning of the month. So I was like, you know what? What do I do the rest of the month? I could either practice or I could try Twitch. So I tried Twitch.
How did you
and
know
I had
about
a
Twitch?
I am on Twitch for a long time, actually, already as a viewer, because I follow this Let's Player who does horror games, and I love horror games, John Wolf, and he started on Twitch too. He's actually a YouTuber, but he actually streams more on Twitch now. I basically made an account to be able to chat in his chat when he started and stuff. And at some point I was like, why not stream, And I had this idea before, a few years before, but when I brought this up to my band and to other professional musicians, they were like, well, online musicians are all mediocre musicians, so why would you want to be on the same platform as them? And I was like, because the idea is like, if you are a successful musician, you are touring and you don't have time for online stuff and online content. You know what I mean?
I do.
That obviously nowadays that idea switched, but like 5 years ago, that was the idea. It was like, why would you go online if you could just have a gig? And how would you have time if you are a touring musician and a gigging musician? You don't have time for that. So that means if you have time for being on the internet, you're mediocre. Does that make sense?
I do. I see the lines. I see where they connect.
Yeah, that's kind of like the idea. So I was like, oh, maybe it's not a good idea to start, So I started way later when I didn't have that influence anymore. And I just played saxophone and started on Twitch like that. And 3 months later, I know that's crazy. 3 months later, I was like, I'm going to do this full time. And I made enough money on Twitch already. So I was like, I'm just going to cancel all my bands and, and the all the contracts that I had and stuff, and just do Twitch.
Wow. That's insane. By the way, you started telling us about you getting you had a chance to sort of sell your soul. Obviously you didn't, but what
sold my
happened?
soul to Twitch instead.
Yeah, exactly. This leads to Twitch, but so I'm just curious, what was it that didn't get you? Why didn't you sign that contract? Why didn't you try?
Oh, because of Twitch. Legit.
It was legit Twitch.
Yeah, wow. That was around the same time. And I was like, you know what? I could just do whatever in my own home, from my own home. I don't have to deal with the anxiety of all of that. And I can have all the hair colors that I want. So yeah.
Which I totally see. I could totally see. Hey, what's up, Def Gun? Thanks for being here. Bad choice. You sold your soul to Twitch, and then you just got a heavily used silence. Aw, that's okay. Who knits your chairs?
A lot of people actually ask that, but this is like a mermaid blanket that I got for Christmas at some point from a friend. And I'm pretty sure it is from Wish or something. But it's a mermaid blanket that legit only goes like on your legs. And it's like, when I have a blanket on and I want to be cozy on the couch, I want a blanket where it can like snuggle into, right? So it
Yeah.
makes no sense to have it until your legs, like so stupid.
Yeah.
So I put it on my chair because my chair is black and I like to wear black a lot. So I kind of disappear in the chair. So I was like, I just need a good background. So I use that. And
There you go.
a lot of people ask about that, which is very
Who
interesting.
makes that for you? Is that a tribute thing? Uh-oh. What's the F? Oh. Okay. I'm gonna take that F as a F for you, Silence, and not that my stream is falling apart, because that dropped frame says
You're
0,
fine.
baby. Yeah, it's really interesting that you decided that Twitch was like your thing. I respect that decision, because like you could have easily been like, well, I see this clear path that this person is, and which is not clear, by the way. Those deals aren't always clear.
Yeah.
But to walk away from that to sort of pursue your own thing, I think that's a
Yeah.
huge thing. Where does that come from? Do you have that? Do you have that kind of integrity? Does that come from your mom, or does that just come from you or your family, or what does that come from? The integrity to sort of like just sort of push on with your own thing.
I don't know, to be very honest. I'm a stubborn person.
Ah.
I'm so stubborn. And this is very known about me from people that know me for a longer time. My first answer is no. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, legit, I'm so stupid that sometimes my dad, for example, he will be like, do you need this box of tools? And I actually need it, right? But my first answer is no, I don't need that. Because I'm like, I'm somebody who just likes to do stuff on my own, and it's like, if I want that toolbox, I would ask you, or I'll fucking buy myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like I have a hard time being helped. I just have a hard time not. And I'm also a control freak. Like I already said, I'm a perfectionist. I'm also a control freak, and I am a workaholic. So those three things together don't really go well together, because I make my own life so much more difficult, like for no reason, like any moment that I could have taken advantage of, for example, being a woman or of my looks, or I always walk away from that and take the most difficult road just because I want to prove myself that I can fucking do it. You know what I mean? And that translates into work too. Like I will take on the most crazy projects or something, but then the very simple stuff I'm not even interested in. And yeah, it's just I sometimes I make my life difficult just because I just don't want to rely on being a pretty woman or having it easy because I know somebody or something. Like and sometimes that's stupid, sometimes that's really stupid, because it makes my life really more difficult, because some opportunities just fly by me because I just don't want them. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense, but it's really stupid. It's kind of like I'm sabotaging myself. I'm really sabotaging myself, basically. I just realized that.
Right here. You heard it here, folks. Right here on stream. Sarah's self-sabotaging. No, I do get it. My Reina is kind of like that. She doesn't like the help thing. It's like, I am. Look, Reina's giving you the fist right there.
Yeah.
Shut up, Reina. She just can't. She just won't ask for help. She just refuses, and then
yeah.
And it builds up, and it gets intense, and then all of a sudden things start happening. And look, I'm not trying to throw my wife under the bus. It happens. People exist in the world that live like this. It's fine. It's good that you see it.
It's just difficult.
It is difficult.
And the thing is also, I don't know if Reina is the same, but for example, somebody will give me an idea and be like, hey, Sara, I'll give you advice on this and that, right? You should, for example, let's just give a stupid idea, right?
No.
Somebody is like, Sara, I think you should start wearing green, right? Mm-hmm. Let's just be like that. And now my first answer is obviously no. It's like, no. And then I go home, right? And I start thinking, should I start wearing green? And then like a few weeks, and then like it's like Inception, a few weeks or a few months after, I'm like, I I decided I'm going to start wearing green, you know?
Yeah.
And that's the thing, though. It needs to be as if it was my idea, and I need to have marinated with it, you know, for enough time where I'm like, yeah, this is,
That is
yeah. This, yeah. I need to start wearing green more, you know?
And that's me. It's all me, not you.
Yeah.
It's me. She's not exactly like that. It's more like problem builds. She won't ask for help, and it's more like breakdown. Oh, what's happening? Why is everything happening like this? But she's much better at that now. And by the way, I'm not trying to throw my wife on the bus. She is way cooler at handling pressure and change and all that stuff than I am. She's a saint. And she's amazing. So, what is on Sarah's? What is on Sarah's shirt? What is that?
That's also a thing. People always ask about the shirt. It's just a person eating jewelry.
People want to know.
Yeah.
Sending a shovel.
Some people even ask if this is Justin Bieber. I don't know who this is. This is just a random woman. It's not Justin Bieber. It's just a random woman who was eating jewelry for some reason. I don't fucking know. I just, you know, this shirt was like $5. So I bought it.
It's a dope shirt.
Because I'm a cheap bitch, you know.
But I'm looking for like my nephew gave me a Tommy Bahama shirt, and I don't know if you are familiar with that, but it's
Tommy Bahama.
It's the type of shirts that Charlie Sheen used to wear on that show.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I think
Nice.
those are the. Oh my God, he gave me one. It still smelled like the thrift store he bought it from. And by the way, that was my Christmas present. My Christmas present was from the thrift store. No,
Nice.
but it's all good. It was all good. I'm not hating, but I love it.
You are kind of.
I am shit talking a little bit, but that's all right. I think I gave him a basket of fruit, so it's okay.
I sometimes give gifts things from the thrift store.
No. Hold on. You see, you don't know the whole story. He gave us a soda stream from the thrift store. He gave me like a suit, like a whole suit, like too big of a suit from the store. First of all, a soda stream. I don't know if you know what a soda stream is.
I know.
Okay, who in the hell?
I would not buy that used.
Who is using used soda streams?
Yeah.
Nephew? Who? Okay.
Yeah.
In any case, I'm putting them on blast. But I do love the Tommy Bahama shirt. But I like those outrageous, stupid clothes that are cheap at the thrift store. So, like, that was, like, the best thing he got. I was like, this is the best. I should have worn it today. Why didn't I? I don't know. Oh, yeah, I know why. Because I haven't even showered yet today. So, I'm still wearing the clothes I was wearing yesterday.
Nice.
Yeah, it's nice. It's lovely. I've just been in technology all morning, so I'm
in the techniques.
Yes, in the techniques. So, like I only know you as SaraJazz, what you do now. But someone told me that this is something that's relatively new, like your variety stream. Did you start as a variety streamer, or were you or did you just play sax at the beginning?
No, it's not really new, to be honest with you. I changed my content a little bit, like in terms of it was always variety. The very beginning was just sax. But that was just a few weeks, and then I started. I again, perfectionist, workaholic.
Hey.
I looked at other music streamers, the big streamers in general, just not only music. Saw what they do, and was like, okay, I need to do more just chatting. I need to do more memes. I need to do more this and that. And was trying to like study them and stuff. So that's what I started doing more. And in that process, I discovered a huge passion for comedy. Like a huge, huge passion. And I recall in friends and family always told me I should be a comedian because my jokes are stupid, and I always joke in real life. But I never really carried that over to my career or to music or to the stage or something because, I always thought my jokes, that's just me I'm just a stupid person,
right.
I'm just a goofy person. So yeah, I started really finding that passion for comedy. So that's what I started doing on Twitch more, where it's like, and that's basically now the kind of the roof of my channel. It's like, yeah, there is music and there is games and there's just chatting, but the roof has always comedy. You know, it always is about me not taking myself too seriously and saying stupid shit. Sometimes I do have like themes that I plan out in my head before, but it's mostly improvisation. But it was always kind of variety. It was always the mixture of those three, because I very quickly understood that only music is only going to get me so far on Twitch, you know?
Yeah.
But at the same time, doing variety on Twitch is kind of like it's channel suicide, basically, because people like, again, going back to what we were talking about, people like to put you in a box. So one type of content is actually the more the smarter way to go, unless it's music, because nobody watches musicians all the time. Like, music streamers don't get that big. At least when I started, like, the biggest music streamers were, I think, Lara with like 800 viewers or something. She was like the biggest. And now you have actually big music streamers like Autopilot, Halocene, and people like that. But when I started, music was like super tiny. So doing only music was, for me, wasn't interesting, because I was like, I will never get big with this. And I want to get big on Twitch, you know? Yeah.
Did you now with the character of SaraJazz and the thought jazz, I'm just curious on that and where that came from. I mean, and I'm not judging at all. I just know it's not coming from a place of judgment. I respect the shit out of what you do.
Thank you.
Where did that come from? Where was the inception of that idea? Was that sort of was that a through line as well from the beginning?
What do you mean, the name, or
no? Well, just the idea of like the idea of thought. You know, the thought idea.
Oh, the thought. Oh, I was like, what? I was sorry. I was
all
in an
good
innocent mindset.
Innocent mindset.
Yeah, the thought thing. So it started as a parody, right? So I started, again, you know, looking at.
Oh, thank you, Moving Dutchman.
Looking at all the people that are popular on Twitch, and I saw a lot of just chatting people, and you know, they were all, you know, boobies out and stuff like that, and I was like, wow, this is working for them. They're not even doing anything and they have fucking 400 viewers. Like, what the fuck, you know?
Yeah.
So I started making fun of that, like, very slowly. And then I started doing cosplays. And I had so many viewers with cosplays. And I was like, what? Wait a minute. This is stupid. I'm going to make fun of this. So I like started doing a parody. And as with so many things, if you do things and parody things for too long, you kind of become that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So here we are. Well, I'm just curious. Like, did you get any blowback from any of your followers when you started doing it, or did you get any, or do you get blowback from anybody just from doing it in the first place?
Not really. The people that I had in the original community, in my original community, are still there. They thought it was hilarious. People always found it hilarious. I mean, a lot of people don't understand that it's a parody, or that it's me just making fun of those people, which, you know, at the same time, I kind of with time understood that those people try to, you know, and they have feelings too. And, you know, at some point I actually understood that maybe I shouldn't make fun of them as much. And I kind of started having a soft heart. But yeah, I just get the normal hate, I guess, that people that do that get, you know, just people calling me names and stuff like that, or saying, oh, you only have views because of your boobs. And it's like, most people actually who are VIPs in my chat came in thinking I'm just a boobie streamer, but then they stuck around for like 10 minutes or something. And then they're like, oh, wait a minute. You're making fun of that. You're a parody, you know? And it's, yeah, I don't do it as much anymore, unless it's like cosplays or something. And I I try to make fun of everything now, and also it's getting old. Like making fun of e-girls or thoughts, it's getting old.
Hmm.
But yeah, I just make fun of everything now. You know.
Yeah, fuck it. Everything's up for grabs. But that's what I love about comedy. It's like one of the last places where you can actually like comment on things and bring people together through laughter and like, you know,
Yeah.
even if it's silly shit, you know, it's still it's like one of those art forms where people can really say some real
Yeah.
shit. And really, I feel like comedy can change people's hearts and minds about a certain subject as well. You know, like if you go see a comedian who's talking about some really, you know, taboo subject, and you're able to sit there and laugh about it, and you're like, oh, well, maybe it's not so bad. I mean, it's bad, but like
Yeah.
maybe you know I can sort of let go of whatever it is that I'm holding on to
Yeah.
that makes that so taboo to me. I think that's beautiful. I think it's a beautiful thing. I also and it was really funny. Thank you, Silence Those for those woos. I also thought it was funny. I don't know. Did you see the GameStop AMC thing that happened? Like I think it was last week. The
Yeah.
where people were buying those meme stocks and stuff.
Hmm. Yeah. And then
Hilarious.
Dogecoin started
Yes,
being a thing.
exactly. Hilarious. And it brought, in this country especially, the left and right, it brought us together to centralize our hatred for Wall Street. Like I
Yeah.
just thought it was so funny. It was Lady J, what's up? It was so hilarious, and I mean it was just this meme joke stock thing, and it brought people together. You know, it made
Yeah.
people agree. It even made one of our senators or Congress people or whatever the fuck, you know, reach out to the other aisle publicly. It's like
Yeah.
wow, you know, like in this country, it's wow, they're communicating. But then that quickly shifted into identity politics, and then that was shot
Yeah. Of
down.
course.
but you know, yeah, the comedy thing. Do you think that you were also you kept that low key because of the type of music you played as well, that the comedian side of you? Because when I think of jazz, sometimes you can get some really stuffy people and some really elitist
Yeah.
players who are like, you know, they take themselves way too seriously, and
Yeah.
you know they're great. 200% on don't. Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
heard. I've been Coinbase locked me out, sons of bitches.
Oh no.
Yeah. I had a whole thing. It was a whole thing here. It was a whole thing here. Yeah, it's. Do you think that you kind of kept that side of you out of the public sphere because of how
Yeah,
jazz is
I
perceived as
did.
well?
I did because I before doing music, I was also a manager, you know, of a few people, and you know, I had to be professional and I had to be serious and stuff like that. And then I went into a music genre that is very serious as well. As you
Mhm.
said, it's like very elitist and it's very serious. And yeah, we usually used to do jokes on stage and stuff like that. And our band was really liked because of that,
Oh,
because
that's
we didn't take ourselves very serious and we did original music. But um it's still a serious thing though. You know, it's still kind of serious. So I was career wise or professionally, I was stuck up, if that makes sense. But yeah, but privately, I was always a jokester and would
Mhm.
make stupid faces and just be goofy and stupid. But I never really carried that over to the stage because of yeah, I do agree with that, and that's why now when the pandemic is over, I want to go back to gigging again, and I want to do Twitch and gigs at the same time, as I do miss it actually.
Yeah.
Um, and I want to take that, and that's one of the things that I learned from Twitch. If anything, I learned from Twitch that I can be a kind of a comedian if I want to, and I can entertain audiences in a completely different way now, and with way more quality. I know that my shows now are going to be so much better because I'm actually comfortable talking to the audience and comfortable making stupid jokes and just comfortable talking, which I wasn't really before because I'm an introvert. But Twitch kind of taught me that I can just, you know, can just also be funny and talk a little bit and not only shred my instrument.
Yeah, but yeah, well, that's what I love about it is like you got this really silly person who's obviously just not taking anything seriously, but then we'll go and
Yeah.
like really rip some shit. And then like the other day, I know you were just you were singing. I can't remember what it was. I think it was Hurt. I think you were singing Hurt, and
Yeah.
and like your inner artist couldn't be held back by the accent, and like by the end of it you were like in it, and like I was like, oh shit,
Yeah.
she like really connect, like, so it's really really cool to see someone at a talent where they could sort of go in and out of like this like silly meme of a person to like this like very serious artist that can really connect with the music and connect with an audience on that level. It's mad respect. um
Aw, thank you.
Sup, girl? I like your sense of humor. Not as much as Dora's crackhead army, but Lady J. That's quite a compliment, Lady J. Thank you.
Nice.
Accent is thick. Yeah. Well, well, if you would have been in her stream the other day, she had Daisy Duke, and she was doing a Southern accent, and she was trying to do a Southern accent with her like European accent. And what
Yeah,
is it?
that's
What do you consider
beautiful.
your accent? Is it Portuguese or what? Since you're from Portugal?
I have no idea, to be honest, because I speak two native languages, which is Portuguese and German.
Mm.
And I also grew up with English though. So I have a few words that are kind of a little British. And then I have a lot that are American, sorry. And then there is a lot that have an accent. And sometimes I just can't speak in general in any language because that's just how I am. When you grow up with so many languages, you kind of you sometimes start making up words in any language, and you start completely saying gibberish, and that's just what happens to me.
Yeah.
It's just a thing.
That it happens like with like Spanish speakers too. Like my mom, she would,
Yeah.
or my family, they would just say like mixing word. What was one of the words that I heard? Oh my God, lunche or something. I can't even think of it. Whatever. Who cares? We're done with that. We're moving on. Gosh darn it. I'm going to have to check out the music. I've always had fun in Sara's streams, except that one time in the mountains on a road trip, but crappy reception was expected. Okay.
That's an interesting part. A lot of people who watch me all the time don't know that I do music.
Wow.
There's a lot of people, or some people don't know. That's the thing about variety, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then some people don't know that I play games. They're like, I've never seen you play a video game on stream. And I'm like, I play video games all the time. What are you talking about? It's like, and the funniest part, and it's a meme now, it's a meme on my channel that I don't play music. It's like, Sara, you never do music anymore. Wait, Sara does music? They're crazy. Because there's so many people that sometimes come in to my channel 10 minutes after I just finished 2 sets, and I'm like, all right, guys, now I'm going to do just chatting, or now I'm going to play a game. And they're like, hey, do you ever play the saxophone on stream? Like 10 minutes after I finished, I'm like, dude, are you kidding me right now? It happens so much. It's crazy. I don't understand people.
Yeah, me neither. You're an introvert, and why do you think that introverts tend to want to be on the stage? Why do you think that introverts want that kind of attention? What do you think that drives? Because I'm the same way.
Do you feel like that's a thing?
I do, because I talk to a lot of people, and a lot of musicians are introverts. They're just like, I don't know. I don't like talking to people, but when I get on stage, it's a way for me to get out. It's honestly a very common conversation we have here.
Yeah, interesting.
I don't know. To me, it's just it's such a weird concept that people who want to like just sort of be in their own little world all the time, like wants to put themselves out in such a vulnerable way to invite others in. But I guess it's only on their terms, right? It's on our terms, though. It's how we're gonna let people in. But it's still like it seems like it just seems antithetical, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't seem like it's a.
That's maybe
sense.
why though.
Maybe
that's maybe why though, because Especially when I do streams or when I have gigs, I am very quiet after. Because I'm like, my energy is all like went all into the gig or into the stream. And it's like, I just don't want to talk a lot because my job is talking or my job is playing. And my job is being an extrovert, basically. So I'm an introvert, but I don't know if, I mean, that's the other side. That's coming from the other side when you are already performing, why introverts like to perform. I think especially creative introverts like to just share their, probably, okay, this could be why. And this is just a hot take. This is a hot take because I've never actually thought about this, but for example, I have a really hard time sharing my emotions, and I am very repressed emotionally. It's very hard for me to cry, or it's really hard for me just to be happy and be like, awesome, and be all, just emotions in general are really difficult for me. And they aren't on the instrument. Like when I play sax, like I'm all out. Like when I play a solo, like I'm telling a story, I'm being very emotional. I'm just musically, I'm very, very emotional. And that's where I can express it. And maybe that's why introverts who are creative like to also, do music and then also share it publicly, because that's their way of communicating and expressing their emotions, because they can't otherwise, That's a hot take, but
right. Well, and I think it goes along with what Wazi was saying. Within an introvert, there's an extrovert waiting to come out, and vice versa. Yeah, I could see that. I mean, I've known some like super extroverted people who are just like always on. And they're musicians, they're artists, but it's just something I see. When I perform, I like to play a role. It's easier to play the role and work from there. Now, I feel that. I do feel that. Although I do feel like that when I'm on, that I am a genuine version of myself, but it's definitely like this heightened version of like,
it's like you, but on drugs or something.
Yeah,
like you, but the elevated you, exactly. Like the 180 you or something, You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and it does work like that for me. One thing that I noticed, like just sort of taking myself out of roles, and since we're just sort of on this, like I had Reina on a couple weeks ago, and every time Reina's ever come on this podcast has been around for 6 years, so she's been on like 30 fucking times. But it's like, well, it's like, I need a guest. Let's go. But no, it's not always like that. But the last time she was on the show was the first time I was actually able to take myself out of the role as a husband and as a role as an interviewer. And it's like, I know all the answers, I knew the answers to the questions I was asking her, but I had to pretend like I didn't know that, because the people who are listening, they don't know that shit. I know it because I've been banging it for the last 10 or 11 years, whatever it is. Sorry, I should know that. But it's like there really is this sort of separation that you sort of have to do, especially as an introvert, is you got to sort of like leave that shit at the door and then come with your best. Even though today, like, my hands are extra fucking moist. My hands are so sweaty. Like, I can't.
Mine are always sweaty.
Dude, what in the hell is that? I turned 36 and all of a sudden my palms start sweating. It's like, sweet. That's tight.
Palms are sweaty, mom's spaghetti.
Mom's spaghetti, man. Hold on. Let me. Sarah, do you hear that? What is that?
What is it?
I don't know. What is it?
What is that? Is it coming from here?
Oh, I know what it is.
What?
It's time for How Much Does It Cost on Craigslist. No. Okay, guys, we are going to get set up for the games. We're going to play How Much Does It Cost on Craigslist, and we're going to be playing for a WSEG face mask. Boom. We got a We Speak English Good patch from our sponsor, modedstudios.com. There's that. And we got the Mike Berg, which you guys don't know what Mike Berg means, but that was a nickname for me in my old band. So if you guys want to wear me around.
Mike Berg?
Yeah, I know. It's
Why
ridiculous.
is that?
Because one day we were playing hacky sack, and the only way outside of the studio, and the only way that I could kick the ball, because I am not a sports person or coordinated worth of shit, I had to flatten it like a hamburger so I could kick it. So they called me Burger, and then that just turned into Berg. Yeah, it's the stupidest origin story. So we're going to be playing for that. And it's also on a Pornhub, in the Pornhub style.
Cool.
So
I like that.
Those are our prizes for today. Our sponsor is sending a whole, okay. All right, hold on. All right, give us a sec. We got a special guest today, folks. I see that someone has requested a Baby Yoda interview. So hold on. Mm-hmm. All right, guys, just give me 1 second. We're gonna play games in just 1 second, but first, let's see if Baby Yoda is available. Hold on, give me 1 second.
Am I gonna get interviewed by Baby Yoda? Is that what's happening?
No, we're gonna ask Wu-Tang. It's almost Wu-Tang is almost there.
Are we asking a question to Baby
Yoda? Sure. Just give me 1 second.
That's amazing. Oh, look! He made it! I can't! There he is.
I don't know what happened to Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda, how are you doing today? Oh, you're not going to say anything? What? What'd you say, Baby Yoda? What? Oh, you're pretty good. Okay.
Okay.
Sarah, do you have a question for Baby Yoda?
Yes, I do. When am I gonna get famous?
You heard her. Baby Yoda, when is SaraJazz gonna get famous?
What did you say?
When is SaraJazz gonna get famous? What'd you say?
3 years or so.
Oh, 3 years or so. There you go. Everybody,
nice.
Give a round of applause to Baby Yoda, everybody. Thank you, Baby Yoda. I appreciate you coming on and answering that question for Sara. We definitely appreciated that.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was great. That was wonderful. Okay, guys, we are actually going to. There you go. I just wanted to give everybody a woo. Okay, guys, we're going to get set up for how much does it cost on Craigslist. Just give us 1 second, and we will be right back. All right, Sara, I'm going to just give me 1 second. I'll set you up real quick. But here, you guys enjoy this. Let's see if it works.
You are a queen, a goddess. You are the moon child born of the river Gaia. You are the portal between 2 planes of existence. I love you, mother. Here is an offering of a pillow to serve the slumber that you desperately seek and deserve.
You're the greatest dad I've ever known. I love you so much. I need you. You've made so many sacrifices for this family. You're the greatest dad ever, ever, ever. I love you so much, Father. All right. Well, there was that.
Nice.
Thank you,
that
everybody.
was beautiful.
Thank you guys for sticking around for this quick transition over. I just wanted to get this set up. Can you see that, Sarah? Are you able to see that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can.
Wonderful. I still haven't figured out how to get Sarah on the screen too. So we're gonna get there one day, folks. We're gonna get there.
I told you I can help you with that.
Well, I appreciate that, Sarah. Thank you so much. Okay, guys, the name of the game is called How Much Does It Cost on Craigslist? Brought to you by our wonderful sponsors over at modedstudios.com. Go over to modedstudios.com and get yourself some fully embroidered patches and apparel. They are the ones who made these patches. They also do a Wu-Tang patch that you can actually get in it's very customizable Wu-Tang patch. Why is that freezing? That makes me upset that that's freezing. Anyway.
Yeah, it's
I don't know what's going
slobs
on.
things.
Anyways,
Yeah.
go check out modedstudios.com. Okay, so the name of the game is How Much Does It Cost on Craigslist? All we're going to do is look at an item on Craigslist, and we're going to bet on how much that item costs. Now, it's kind of
Nice.
like The Price is Right, but you can go over in price. But so it's whoever is the actually closest to the price of the product. Once you give a bet, that is your final answer. So we're going to ask people in the chat. So once you write a number down, that's it. No changebacks, no changes. Okay. All right. Super easy. Let's get into the first item up for bid. All right. We got a Tom Knoll original oil painting. I don't know who Tom Knoll is. Purchased last year at WMSOE Art Benefit Auction, April 2018. Perfect condition, roughly 15 by 15, and I think that's I don't know what that is. I think that's inches. Sorry, everyone overseas. Let's see. Tom Knoll sells limited prints of this for $309 each, limited to $100. Thank you for those biddies, mighty, and I forgot to do your mighty. Safe place to park money. Yeah, okay. I see what they're saying. Investment. Tom Knoll is world-renowned artist. Please, no trades, no texting offers. Serious inquiries only.
Wait, is this a print or what is it?
It's a painting. It looks like it's an actual painting. So he's saying that
it's not a print.
No, it's not a print. It's an actual painting, and the prints go for $309 a piece. So there you go. So I left a thing in there. So I left a little clue on there for you folks. So SaraJazz, how much does this item cost on Craigslist?
That's a difficult one. You know, I actually used to work in an art gallery or an auction, art auction house, actually.
So then you should know exactly how much this is worth. US dollars, please, only.
Sure. I know everything.
Yes, you do.
I would say 8,490.
I like it. 8,490 US dollar.
Yes.
Okay. Now, you guys go ahead and drop your bids in the chat. I will give you until the end of this song here. Go! All right, guys.
$1.
$1. That's okay. It might work. And please, everybody, feel free to keep dropping those bids. How much do you guys think this item costs? We're playing for the WSEG mask and these patches here. So please do drop your bids in the show notes. Okay. In the chat.
Show notes?
Yeah. Okay. We're gonna.
Where is that from?
It's from my podcast. I always say it's like go and click on their links in the show notes, and the show notes are the podcasting. All right. I'm a podcaster, everybody. So sue me. $15,000 says Reina Mystique. It's got a huge C on it. Looks like a fake. Well, it might be, Wooby. How much would you pay for a fake Tom Knoll. Let's see.
50 cents.
Yeah. No, it's 50 cent. 50 cent. Let's see. Your favorite today says $30,000 and 30,900. Lady J says fake. Okay. Wooby1 says $6,800. Thank you for those Baby Yoda emotes, which, by the way, everybody, I hope you like those Baby Yoda emotes that I just cooked up. Northbound Matt says $420.69, Bob. $4.99 for Lady J, or best offer. I like that. $600 for Wazzy. And $1 for Silence Noise. Oh, I see more. Moving Dutchman says $34. Lady J, you can't change your thing. I just said that. How dare you? How dare you? Let's see. What I'm just going to going by Price is Right rules. Okay, I get what you're saying. I just don't read well.
That's
Speak
okay.
English good. Okay. 8,490 for Sara, 5,000 for Mighty, and then Lady J still trying to change her bid. Drop your shit in the chat, man. Okay. Let's get this party going here. Okay. Drum roll, please. Actual retail price on Craigslist. Thank you, Sara.
No problem.
$5,000.
Hey, mighty, got it.
Mighty.
100%.
Hey, Mighty.
Wow.
Thank you for that woo, your favorite today. So Mighty, you have won. You know how it's going. Mighty wins like every week. So Mighty, let us know how you want to go forward.
He probably Googles it on. Mighty probably Googles it on Craigslist. He's like, I'm gonna Google this because I want all your shit.
Probably, and they got a lot of my shit, and that's fine. You guys can win as much as you want. It's not a problem, dude. Music with Mendez, what's up? Thank you for that sub. I saw that you did that in the quiet of night, and while we were not on stream, so I appreciate you subbing.
Aww.
Thank you so much. Yeah, wow, exactly. Okay, guys, we're gonna do one more, and then I am gonna let our guest go and enjoy the rest of her evening. I'm not sure, Mighty, let me know if what you want to do with the prize, if you want me to send it out or if you want me to do the alternative, and you know what I mean. Okay, next item up for bid. They just give it to either give it to somebody in chat or to the guest.
Yeah.
That's the alternative. You guys can gift it to people. Oh, wait, is that John Cena? No, it's Raunchy Randy. Nice. Thank you for that. A Raunchy Randy. Murray Supersonic Missile Jet Pedal Car. Or best offer. All right. 1950s Murray Supersonic Missile Jet Pedal Car. Hard to find in this original unrestored condition. Very straight metal, small ding in the nose, easy restoration. Missing side decals, original nose, reproduction shifter. The rear wheels have been replaced with thinner Murray wheels. I have the original wheels, one wheel missing, rubber, seat picks, new wheels available online. All right, SaraJazz, how much does this item cost on Craigslist?
I would say this person is selling this for $699.
Ooh, $699 for SaraJazz. Okay, everybody, since SaraJazz is on the show, I'm gonna play the penis song. Here we go, and I'm gonna apologize in advance because this is a terrible song. Not because it says penis.
That's great.
It's a terrible song. All right, guys, you got to the end of the penis song to drop your bids in the chat. Go.
Get your hand up. Get your hand up. My penis. My penis. Get your hand up. Get your hand up. Get your hand up. My penis. My penis. Penis, 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 penis.
Okay, you heard.
Is he saying penis?
He's saying penis.
Penis?
He's from,
Penis?
I believe that he was from Australia or New Zealand.
Oh.
It's actually a viral video of this alcoholic guy who's getting arrested, and he's just yelling
yeah,
this.
of course.
He's just
course.
like, let go of my penis. But he also is like talking like he's like a college English professor. So he's like, unhand me right now. I command you. You know, like he's saying it all like, but he's like super
That's
wasted.
why he says penis.
Yes, and he's like, let go of my penis. And of course, I thought that was funny, and I decided to put it to a beat.
Those are the memes that we need in our lives.
Dear penis, I think I like you. Oh, I don't think I like you anymore. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Go ahead, drop your bids in the chat. I'm going to start reading them. You guys can drop them as I go here. Music with Mendez says $345. Northbound Matt says $420.69. Bob. Saucy Chicken Nugget says $30,000.
$30K.
Saucy does not fuck around. Wazzy says $6,999. Moving Dutchman says $1,250. $6.99 for Sara. Thank you, Reina Mystique. Wooby1 says $875 US dollops. Reina Mystique says $275. Lady J says $250. Dear penis, I don't like you anymore. Yeah, well, you and Reina have a lot to talk about, Lady J. Mighty, you said $1,000. Wazzy, thank you for that laugh. F the peen. $1.
Yes, indeed.
$1 for the silence noise. Yo, none of your clips were as good as the rock pastors. What? I don't know what that means. Poop 4. Okay, that's great. Poop. I like that. So 1,000 it is. Wait, is that Moving Dutchman? Did you? No. Moving Dutchman. I already said it at the top here. You get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. Okay, and you did. You already got that blowout. So you got $1,250, buddy. Okay, guys, we are gonna go ahead and see what the big reveal is, and let me just get my drum roll going. Drum roll, please. Actual retail price on Craigslist:
$2,150. This person is crazy.
We got a psychopath, everybody!
Oh my God! No, that thing is not. No, the fuck.
That is awful. You know what the worst part is that they even said that there's all these broken parts too. So yeah.
So it's not even. Yeah, like it has dents and stuff. The decals are gone and stuff.
Right.
No.
Right.
This person's crazy.
Then we have a psychopath. I absolutely agree with you. We have a psychopath. And you know what? Moving Dutchman, I think you won. Is he right? Chicken AMA, Saucy Chicken Nugget, go ahead. You famous or what? I think that's for I think that's you for you.
Yeah, sure. I am.
Yes.
Totally.
Autocorrect forgot the 0. Oh, shut up, Lady J. All right, hold on. Let's bring our guest back, which I think I can just do with the push of a button. So hold on, I'm gonna BRB first, and then I'm gonna just bring my. Oh, I gotta get rid of this, and then I just.
Wait, you do all of that in one scene? You need more scenes, boy. You need to learn how to use slobs.
Yeah.
Or OBS.
Yeah, I know. Hold on, I'm trying to figure out how to use this. There you are. We did it.
Hi.
Hey! Oh my God, so loud. I'm so sorry. I hope that I haven't been blasting your ears out on that.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Or whatever.
You're fine. My ears are dead anyways because of guitarists on stage and their stupid amplifiers.
Oh my God, I'm so glad that that guitarists are switching to smaller amps because it's just like those half set like who. Double stack, like, dude, what are you talking? Like, they get laughed at now. You come in a club with like a full stack, people are like, "Get that the fuck out of here!" Like, I'm trying to sell drinks, not fucking hearing aids. Saucy Chicken Nugget, you got 2 AMAs. Go ahead and ask whatever you need to ask. But okay, Sara, I appreciate you so much for coming on the show and rolling.
Thank you for asking.
Oh well, I mean, it was my pleasure. I respect. I've been saying that this whole time, but I respect what you do, and I really dig what you and Silence Noise do with Music Exposed, and and I'm really looking forward to talking to your boyfriend at the end of the month. So this is
Yes.
I appreciate the time that you gave me, especially. I heard on your stream the other day that this is your day off, so I do appreciate you taking the time out of your day off to talk to
It's all
this
good.
guy.
It's all good. I'm just sacrificing myself for you.
I know. That's
just what I do, you know. I'll just take double of my antidepressants. I'll be fine. I'll just be crying in the kitchen on the kitchen floor this night. It's okay.
Well, I'm glad that I could be of some service to you on this quiet evening at home with the boyfriend. Everybody, go give SaraJazz. I mean, if you don't know who SaraJazz is in the first place and you're here, I don't even know what you're doing here. But go give her some love. Go give her a follow. Glitter is Whispering Glitter here. Oh, I'm gonna get DCMA'd for that for sure. For sure, I gotta get that out of there. I forgot about that fucking thing. All right.
Yeah, sometimes we forget. Yeah.
Anyways,
Just
okay.
scream over it like I do. Like when something is DMC and I notice it too late, I'm like,
It has to confuse the algorithm somehow, right? Like
Yes.
it has to.
Yeah.
It's just how it is. All right, guys. Who are we going to raid? Whoa, is the plastics on right now, or are they just online?
What do you mean? Oh, you mean as if they are streaming, then they have like it says streaming if they are streaming.
Oh, I'm just looking at this like an idiot. Oh my god, I'm just the worst. What was the suggestions? Reina, you got a suggestion? Anybody got a suggestion? Anyone? Bass solo? Oh god damn it. Okay, hold on. I'll do the bass solo real quick before we raid. I promise we're almost done, Sarah.
The basso? What is the basso? That is a beautiful chair.
All right. Joshua Woo. All right, cool. Joshua Woo. Scream over everything.
That is a beautiful chair, by the way. Is that your kitchen chair?
This is the dining room chair, yes.
Nice. I love it.
Thank you.
love it.
I get a lot of compliments for my chair. Okay, I'm going to do the crappiest, shortest bass solo ever. So here we go.
Nice.
Bass solo redemption. Here we go.
Those strings, though.
Okay, hold on. Can I do a slap? Let me see if I can slap it today.
Beautiful.
Garbage. Thank you, movie touch.
Slap with the bass, man. Slap with the bass.
Okay, you know what? We are gonna raid Wander Truly because she is our next guest. So I thank you for that suggestion, Silence Noise. But Wander is our guest this next Friday, so I think that is a perfect way for you guys to get to know Wander. And I absolutely love Wander. She is a IRL friend who we have met. I think I said it at the beginning of the show, but we met on Van Life. And we did a random interview. Liz, oh yeah, I love Liz too. Yeah, Julian too. Yeah, you know what? We're gonna do Wander because again, she's gonna be on the show this Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And also we have Cypher Deluxe this Friday. So if you want to get in and rap some bars or sing a song, we're opening up the Discord for the community. So please do come through and hang out with us. And come bring your best bars. Oh my gosh, mighty. You guys just stop. Just stop. We're raiding now. We gotta get out of here before you guys. Wait, did I do it? Invalid username. I'm an invalid. All right, hold on. Gosh darn it. We type good as well.
The person you're trying to reach does not exist.
Yeah, all right, we're gonna do it. Wander Truly. Wait a second, did I not do it right? Reina, did you spell it right? Wander Truly. Okay. Yes, I think I did it right. Did I do it right? I think I did it right. Okay,
You did.
I did do it right.
Go.
Yay! Okay, guys, thank you so much. Sarah, again, thank you so much for coming on. Of course,
Thank you for having me.
Sarah streams all the time. Every Saturday is Music Exposed. Make sure you guys go give her some love and follows and stuff. I'll put all the links in the show notes, so go ahead and click around in the show notes if you want. Okay, guys. Love you guys. I'll see you guys Friday. Sarah, mwah. All right, guys.
Bye.
Bye. All right. And that is that.
Beautiful.
Sarah, thank you so much again, for real.